Hey everyone, welcome to the BowHunterPlanet Task Lab. On today's show, we are looking at the Barnett Predator. I think you guys might have saw us go live the other day. We unboxed it for you guys straight out of the box, kind of went through some of the stats, but we're going to take a longer look today, kind of give you some of the detailed features of the bow and go from there. So Chris, you want to start us off with some of the specs on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go into it. So this is kind of a new realm for them to go into, Barnett. So I'm actually excited to see this. So this is a 430 feet per second bow. So we're talking tremendous speeds. Barnett's had fast bows before. I mean, the Ghost series was extremely fast, but to see that out of a bow on this platform, this is actually a beautiful looking bow. I actually had no idea that this was a Barnett. This is a totally new segment for them. As far as kinetic energy, we're talking 156 foot-pounds of kinetic energy.
Not bad.
A power stroke of 16.3 inches. Draw weight of 207 pounds. 7.8 pounds is the total weight of this bow, and considering its size, I mean, it's a longer
lengthy bow.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but to only be at 7.8 pounds, that's really not bad. 8 pounds is about normal for any crossbow, but this much size, I guess it's going to be impressive. Yeah, we're talking 37.125 inches long, 20.375 inches wide, so it's a little narrower, especially for the long power stroke this is going to have. So definitely a new movement forward for them. We're seeing a familiar front end, the Carbonlite front end that we've seen before. That I'm sure it's just new and improved. They always make changes. One thing I like about Barnett is that when they have an issue or they have a need in the marketplace for something, they don't necessarily just try to fix it themselves. They don't necessarily just say, let's just throw this solution at it.
Let's see what happens.
Case in point, TriggerTech triggers. I honestly can't tell you that there's a better trigger on the market besides the TriggerTech.
I think that's the first thing I noticed when I pulled it out of the box is how nice that trigger not only looks, but when you put your finger on it for the first time, the feel is just absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to get this thing cocked and take a couple shots with it because I have some pretty high expectations of this.
I don't know, it's really cool, and I mean, being a Michigan guy, we've kind of got a close association with TriggerTech. They're just right over the lake, or over the river really, in Canada. So they actually have been were coming to the Woods and Water Show, which we spent a lot of time there. And they actually had a booth for years, and they were pushing their products. And I remember I always used to visit them. They were always by us, and it was always great conversation with those guys. So to see them in a quality bow like this, especially at this price point, to see TriggerTech still in this realm is fantastic.
Yeah, man, I can't. As soon as we unbox it, just the design, the color itself, it comes in black. I think that's the only color that it comes in, but the look just associated with it is awesome. I love kind of the wraparound grip on it. Yep. The picatinny rails for your quiver and everything. That's a pretty cool design as well. Straight out of the box, just looking at what you're going to get in the box, you're going to get a illuminated scope. It's 1.5 to 5 by 32 millimeter rope cocking device, side mounted quiver, 322-inch headhunter arrows, and your rail lube. I know it also came with this one in the box too, is also a shoulder strap for it as well. We don't have it on right now, but that also did come in the box when we did unbox it the other day. So I mean, my first observations out of it, again, and this foregrip here, the wrap through foregrip, I love that kind of design. I've seen this on a couple other bows. I just think it gives you that really good balance, that really good safety feature, but allows you to grip it and really feel that bow in your hand. So I think that's a great aspect for it. So I can't wait again to get this shot and take a couple shots with it. So a couple other things just straight that I'm noticing. You got the brush tongue here instead of usually the metal one that you have holding your arrow in place, which I like a lot. You know, I think you get a lot better wear sometimes out of that, and a lot less stress on the arrows when you're shooting it as well.
A lot less noise too.
It is
that
absolutely.
twang after the shot that you get with the metal bars. You always have to put like little sticky things on them to make less noise.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's always good to see Barnett come out with something kind of new, innovative. I really love the look. It reminds me of some of those other tactical crossbows that we've seen come out on the marketplace. I know it does have options for a crank. It doesn't come with the crank, but it does have options to hook up a crank on here as well. So really good option, really good package. Price point wise, I think we're looking at $13.99 if I'm not mistaken, straight out of the box. So I mean, it comes full with everything that you really need to take down that deer that you're looking for. So, or turkey or whatever it is that you're hunting. So
now, one thing that I really like about Barnett is they're really good at hiding stuff. And it's when you really dig into like learning more, or like even just right now when I was just scrolling through it. The geeky stuff.
Got it.
So, which you know I'm famous for. So right under here is a support strap. So Dave might even like this one for sure. So when you're shooting, you can actually lock this in place underneath your arm, so that when you shoot it, it's actually underneath your arm.
So it's taking the weight off.
Yeah, so it's actually just another way to kind of lock that in and just make it a little bit more supportive.
That's pretty cool.
So just another cool idea that Barnett's kind of gone in there. I mean, they've always had their built-in compatibility for their rope cockers. So, and they're super easy to install. It's something you can do on your own. Simple tools.
Me?
So, yeah, I'm sure you can figure it out.
That's awesome.
If he can figure it out,
that's pretty easy.
Anybody can figure it out. But no, it's super easy to put on, and they've worked really great, especially with the high draw poundage of this bow, over 200 pounds. But you're getting the speed out of it.
Yeah, which is awesome. I also noticed here too, it's got the variable speed scope on it as well. So obviously you can tune it into exactly what this bow is shooting. And we're gonna do probably some speed tests with it here. And you just pointed out the other thing that I really liked about this bow that I forgot about when we first unboxed it is that, you know, a lot of your scopes to illuminate it, you have a little dial that you twist. This one actually has a push button. So super silent. It's pretty cool design on that. So something I haven't seen before. So
yeah, that's the first time I've seen that. So.
All right, so there we have it. You saw us take a couple shots here. And Chris, what was your thoughts on it?
You know, I was actually very impressed. It did not feel heavy at all. Even though with how long it was, I was expecting it to feel very cumbersome, very heavy. It was very comfortable to shoot. I liked the scope. Scope was very clear. Brightness was perfect. So
I thought it was a great shooting bow. First thing that I noticed was the trigger pull. The trigger pull is absolutely amazing. Something that I think you've come to expect in the crossbow industry is a really nice trigger pull. Something kind of equivalent to if you're shooting gun. One thing that I absolutely noticed, same as you, is the weight. I think it balances really well. The stabilization device on the back just takes a lot of that weight away. So all you're really doing is just kind of leveraging that crossbow out in front of you to get a really good shot in there. The grip for me, absolutely amazing. Absolutely love the grip. That wraparound grip just really makes it comfortable, I think, for anybody to grip it, whether you open palm it, whether you grip it a little bit, put your fingers through. Safety aspect too, you can't beat that from wrapping your fingers around that. You're not gonna miss, you're not gonna hit your fingers with the string with your fingers at all. So I thought it was absolutely amazing. So scope, nice and clear as well. I could see through it really well. I didn't see any issues with the bolt loading it. I like the brush guard, the brush tongue on there, absolutely amazing as well. Another safety feature I really like that some bows come with, some they don't. You cock this bow, it automatically goes into safety, which I think is a really great feature as well. So.
Yeah, and one thing that we did have happen is when we drew it back, actually when Tim went to go shoot it once, we didn't have the bolt all the way in.
Right.
So again, Trigger Tech and Barnett have gone through the technology to make sure that this has an anti-dry fire to it.
Tested that on purpose.
So yeah, there you go. It was an on-purpose test, but no, that worked flawlessly. It actually engaged right to the anti-dry fire, gave us plenty of time to safely assess what happened, to realize what happened, recocked it, it was good to go.
Now what do you think about the grip?
You know, I like the grip. It's soft. I mean, it's got definitely a good feel to it. I don't feel like it's something that's going to get cold. I tend to run real short in, so I actually flat palm the bottom of the plate. I'm paranoid when it comes to crossbows, so I like to keep my hand as far away from that as possible. But it was very comfortable, very easy to hold.
Awesome. Now, loudness-wise, I didn't really notice that much loudness coming from this. Obviously, you got some dampening going on within the bow itself. You got the short axle to axle as well, which I think really helps at the same time. You're not getting a lot of that bow twang that you'd normally see in some of those larger axle to axles. So a really good job from Barnett in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, crossbows, let's be honest, crossbows really aren't the quietest thing out there. They're nowhere near what a compound bow is when it comes to quietness. But overall, for a crossbow, this was extremely quiet, especially at a 200-pound draw weight.
Absolutely, and 400 feet per second. If you haven't seen our speed test video, obviously this thing is shooting right out of the box a little bit over 400 feet per second, which is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it threw those arrows in. It buried those arrows right in our target too, which is pretty impressive for this bow. You see it here first, BowHunterPlanet Test Lab. Check them out online. Barnett crossbows. Get in a dealer, shoot it. Great crossbow. We'll see you next time.